Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and in today's video I decided to spend 20 hours learning Winston. Let's get started. After the first 10-hour challenge on Winston that I did a few months ago, I already knew that the character is going to be insanely high skill ceiling. It's very hard to master Winston, and it seems counterintuitive. You have a jump and you have a bubble, and then your ultimate, you become a raging gorilla and you just punch people away and knock them back. In reality, I came across situations where I just could not finish my kills alone. And if I don't have Kiriko, if I don't have Tracer or Genji, there is nothing I can do alone but to feed and cry in the corner. First few games were completely horrible. I felt insane amounts of cringe. I don't feel like cringe is the word here. I felt that I am just not good enough to play the character. I felt that I cannot do anything, and it feels like I'm missing something just to really finish off my kills. My ultimate usage is garbage, my bubbles are horrible, I cannot kite Reaper outside of the bubble, I cannot do a simple kill on a support in the backline while he is alone and he gets time to request help from the second support and stuff. I was taking Winston on wrong maps with wrong comps and expected good results out of that. I thought the Winston is gonna be a nice walk in the park, but as a result it was pain, misery and suffering. IR1 was filled with me like not getting enough value. Yeah, sure, I can kill Ana after a few right clicks with Nano, but that's that. That is exactly that. I was not communicating with my team. I was not cooking. Oh man, the first hour was definitely not the time to cook. And now I'm looking at my old footage and I realize how bad I am at the game. It is actually insane. So right here I made a mistake. I just gave up bubble really early and then went in a closed room with Reinhardt and Brigitte. What a time to be alive. Sometimes I just need to land one right click to win the team fight. It's easy as that. Oh, and here is gonna be a complete cookage on the bunny on this exact point. Maybe not this highlight, but overall, oh man, that was so satisfying. My Pharah was actually cooking quite tremendously, and here we are kiting for the window a little bit. I am setting up for an engage. Again, I am not communicating, I'm not saying anything to my team, we are just like intuitively going for it, but look at that barrage, man, holy! D.Va wanted to fly up in Matrix, but decided to die from cringe as a result. Here we're going for the Genji as well, and hour 2, I already feel like I sort of get the idea of how to play the character. My ultimate usage is still horrible, like look at that. This is just as bad as it gets. I'm not pressing S to like really pull myself backwards when I'm jumping. No man, no man. It feels like Nobody is a great map for Winston, is a great map for D.Va, but when you are playing into D.Va and Bastion, it feels like you gotta swap. Sometimes I understand that the whole rock paper scissors concept when it comes to tanks is a complete like myth, and you definitely can play pretty much any tank into any counter, because it's not only about you, there are 2 DPS and 2 supports that are also benefiting you from like forcing another player to play on a certain character. For example, is Reaper a hard counter to Monkey? Not exactly, because you can dodge him. Is Bastion a hard counter? Not exactly, because you can play high grounds, you can dodge him, you can like play backline. But when they're playing Reaper, Bastion and D.Va into you, I feel like it is definitely time to switch. Right here, we would have probably cooked quite tremendously if I were to be on D.Va, but we were cooking regardless. This is gonna be the last fight of the bunny. This dude decided to swap Widow for some reason, and I'm going for a beautiful solo double kill, which was actually super nice. Oh, it was not solo, he antied him, but doesn't matter, doesn't matter. My ult usage is still, oh, what am I doing, man? This is cringe. My first part on Winston was recorded about 2 months ago, and I quickly learned that I am actually so much better than I was before 2 months ago. I have so much more experience. I have so much more in-depth understanding of like the characters individually, as well as certain comps, certain maps. I feel like I have spent my time learning Overwatch right, as I was watching guides, VODs. I was looking at the professional players and their points of views, and it really made me a better player. Yet, sometimes looking at the pro player will not make you a pro player yourself. It's all about experience. It's all about your like snap reactions to every single situation accordingly, because yeah, that was a happy little accident. You have to understand that in critical situations, your competence is gonna be lowered to your reflexes. It means that it doesn't matter how much you are practicing in like calm and collected environment where everything is like quiet and stuff. When the time is gonna come, that's gonna be a true factor, whether you are good or not. Every single hour 4 of every single challenge is time to cook. And this hour 4 was not an exception. Watchpoint Gibraltar is the best map for Winston, as you have so much verticality, and playing Reinhardt into that is just dumb, but it is what it is. Oh my god, this Genji just popped off quite tremendously. And I absolutely love those combinations, like Winston Tracer, Winston Genji. Even Winston Sombra is really nice. I really like the dive comp as a like main factor. It's just so satisfying. I have no idea why, but it is what it is. Brawl comps are just so much more boring, in my opinion. So we are absolutely cooking. Unfortunately, our cooking was just a little bit too little for us to get even past the second point. Here I'm going for a nice C9. I should have been on the point, but sadly, yeah. And here is going to be the last highlight of the attack. We sadly lost the game. As a result, their Echo Mercy were just absolutely cooking us. It feels like hour 4 and hour 5 were definitely times where I was like not really ready to be fully focused, because on Winston you have to be in the zone. You have to be looking forward and nowhere else. You don't have to have any like distracting thoughts. And I was definitely not in that state of mind. Yet Busan was an absolutely insane map for Winston again, and we are going Winston Genji, this time with a different dude. And oh my god, again, I am still not communicating at all. You will never see me speak, because I had a feeling that there is nothing to talk about with these people. And oh boy, was I absolutely wrong. I had one of my best games and one of the coolest memories. Well, I was like consistently calling out stuff when I was like hard coming. Well, I'm like, yo, dude, I'm going this guy. 3, 2, 1, go, jump. It feels like sometimes you have lobbies where you will win regardless whether you are speaking or not. But something inside me tells me that as a Winston player, you have to use the microphone to unleash your full potential. Oi. I remember this hour 6 game like vividly. This was so satisfying to do that. My boy is playing Widow. What does that mean? That means I'm about to cook them a 5-course Michelin star meal. Wait. Yeah, that does better. So we are going for a few right clicks on the light viewer, then we get the kill on the Ana and the soldier, and this Reinhardt is just dead as well. So here I know that I have primal, so I'm jumping in. I understand that I can zone out the Reinhardt, and this is a 4 versus 1 versus 1 versus 4 situation where both tanks are zoned out and isolated, but I'm doing it voluntarily and my boy is not. Here I'm going for a beautiful double jump after the ultimate and getting the kill onto 2 players, which was actually so surprising to me. I'm like, yo, I knew that I can do that, but I never thought I will be able to. And I'm like, holy. Unfortunately, I was not able to find more, like, it's like I'm in Titanic, and you know, and I just don't have enough room for the flower, and this guy's gonna be alive. Oh no, man. Oh no. I feel like with Winston, you just have to have a really nice timing when you are engaging and disengaging. This is really, really important. Here, notice how, oh my god, this is gonna be one of the unluckiest jumps I've ever had. I jumped into his pin. This was so random. But yeah, I am very much better with my right clicks. I am just so much better with jumps. Finally, I am able to abuse the mechanic where you are jumping up just to catch someone lacking, catch someone off guard, like right here. Boom. This Kiriko never thought I'm gonna do that. Well, now she actually saw me. But it doesn't matter. You got the point. You got the point. And here, boom, again. Additional 50 damage is just so valuable. And here we are going for the ultimate. My ultimate is a little bit better than it was before. I unslept Bob for, for some reason. But it's alright. Oh yeah, here is gonna be a moment where I'm like, yup, I'm gonna jump on this Ana. We would have killed him. And here, oh my god, this Hanzo was just not ready for that. Boom, man. Woo! Let's go, dude. Let's go. Unfortunately, Tracer used the recall. And I'm like, I would have killed him. I would have killed him if he would not blink. And this guy decided to, oh my. No way, man. No way what he's doing. Beautiful double kill cookage onto those dudes. And here I'm gonna have a funny little happy accident with Kiriko. She thought he's safe. But here I am. Boom. Nice. I absolutely love playing with that. I don't know, man. This is just so satisfying to do. It's actually insane. And here again, another attack. I'm going for a long jump, and then I'm going for a right click. Perfect time to disengage, perfect time to engage. This is absolutely amazing. Finally, the level of the lobby is similar to the level of my skill, and I am able to use that to my advantage. Here I'm going for another massive jump. I'm going for Kiri. I feel like you need to, I feel like I needed to land closer to enemies to get the maximum value, just like I did here with Hanzo. I need to definitely practice that. When I'm gonna do 30-hour challenge on Winston, that's gonna be the top of my priority with the ultimate usage. My ultimate usage is a lot better. I am still learning how to do it on hour 6, but it's just so much better than it was before. I absolutely love it. The progress is very noticeable. A very smart thing I did to actually mitigate the bad feelings I would get from OTPing a character is I would never force Winston on a non-Winston map. I would never play Winston on Havana. I would never play Winston on Junkertown. I would never play Winston on Circuit Royale, because these are Sigma maps where Sigma gets the most value. I would not play Winston on King's Row because that's a Ramatra map. In the current meta, you are taking that character and you are more likely to win the game, or you can take Winston and lose it with 80 to 90%. Yes, you have lobbies where opponents have no idea how to play against you, but I just want to play and be really correct with my approach right from the start. This was a pretty high level lobby. It's master level or something. The characters are just opponents are really good, and my teammates are really good, and this Genji is gonna cook like an absolute madman. So here I'm stalling the point for quite a lot with my primal to get a few %, and we actually had time to regroup, and we are ready to approach them again. The worst thing you can do is dying. I would say that this is literally the worst one that you can do. So here I am playing really safe. I'm like, yo, I'm jumping Kiri. And this was actually the time where I started speaking in the microphone, and I'm like, wow, this is actually so nice. That Genji, oh my god, man. Look at the Genji, and I'm saying everything. I'm going Doom, no I'm not, I'm falling back. And this is really important because you are the captain of the ship as a tank, especially as a dive tank. This is super important to do so. Here I would have melee him and killed him, but I never knew what the melee is Even at hour 10 it feels like, but after I watched the POV of Kaluge, the USA Team USA in the World Cup tank, I realized that he's meleeing quite a lot. So he jumps in, like zaps a little bit and then melees. This is so nice. Oh, this was such a nice kill onto the Kiriko. Ranged, I never thought I would be able to do that, but here I am. So we're going soldier here and just capping the point. Nice. That was actually satisfying. Finally, Busan game where I am cooking on the second point here. I unfortunately have no idea how it's called. So here I am zoning out 3 players and my team. I'm killing the Tracer and I'm killing the Doomfist, and like, yeah, just by zoning out supports, they have no idea to get to those players, and I am actually absolutely cooking. I feel like I never asked for nano here, but it turned out really, really well. We were able to stagger our opponents, and again, Doomfist receives 0 heals. They are playing Reaper now. Oh man, the Reaper is just like an absolute ruiner of all the fun that you can have on the character. Hour 8, and it's time to speak about the best and the worst characters that you can play with and against. And let's start off with your counters, quote-unquote counters, of course, because the whole counter concept is just very silly, because yes, you're getting countered, but your teammates are not, and your teammates can use that to their advantage and actually get good results. Reaper is very annoying to play, but you can dodge him. You can play high grounds, you can play on verticality, and if he's TPing to you, you are just so much faster. You just have so much more mobility to escape the engage with him. You have so much more ability to just absolutely ignore him and dodge him. Yes, he's annoying. He's annoying, but he's really bad versus Cassidy. He's really bad versus pretty much any hit scan. And you are just allowing your teammates to cook. He's really bad versus Pharah Mercy. He's really bad versus Echo Mercy. He's really bad versus Zen Echo. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So my point is that there are counters, yes, but you can be a person that's like rock, paper, scissors when it comes to tanks, and like overall in Overwatch is such a bad concept forced onto like newer players. It's completely wrong. You have to learn how to play against the characters that counter you, and when you do, you will truly rank up. You will truly feel like that you are like mastering the character, because, well, yes, it's hard to play against D.Va. Yes, it's hard to play against Bastion. But man, you can actually make your team work against them, and as a result, they will swap. And now you are gonna be a win condition again. I understand that sometimes you really want to be a win condition all the time, but guess what? Life is not perfect. It has its like pros and cons, and yes, when you are playing tank, sometimes you have to suffer. Sometimes you have to suffer to get the result. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your own fun for the fun of your teammates, and sometimes teammates do the same for you. You just don't notice it. You just never notice it. It's really, really interesting how like you feel like a person like on cast hitting 3 shots every single time he sees a tank is something that he has to do on standard. Well, you only notice that when your Cassidy cannot hit the ocean from the beach. So countering Winston, I feel like if you are playing to your advantage, there are no true counters. Maybe D.Va is like really bad because you have to match her all the time, but overall you can learn how to play into everything. It's time to talk about the best teammates that you can play with you, and it feels like every single type character is really, really nice with Winston, because you want to jump in and you want your teammates to support you. You want your teammates to be with you. So Tracer is good, Pharah Mercy is good, Pharah Echo is good, Genji is decent. I feel like Genji is just pretty bad in the current meta, but you can absolutely make him work. Echo, Pharah, and Tracer are really, really good versus Reaper, so if they would want to be bad boys and want to swap Reaper to counter you, you can absolutely make them work. The characters that you are absolutely countering as Winston are definitely gonna be Widowmakers. Jesus Christ, they are just every single character without The escape mechanism. Mei is really bad versus you. Then you have characters like Zenyatta, Lifeweaver, and other characters with no mobility. So every single time you would jump them, they would have to get like so many more resources from the DPS, from the supports, and you have to understand that Overwatch is a game of resources, not the game of kills. So if you are drawing attention of 3 players while your teammates are like not doing that, you basically won the team fight if your teammates are doing everything correct. And yeah, the fact that you are just so good versus like Hanzo's, you're so good versus Ana. Again, Ana can sleep you, Ana can anti you, but when you're playing Winston in a correct manner, I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like you are just so much better than that. You are really good versus Tracer as well. Like, notice how she cannot do anything about me, and she recalled here and just died from range. I got so lucky with having the Genji and the Kiriko, but you can always ask your teammates to do so. And Cassidy is really bad versus you, Ashe is really bad versus you because you can just jump them and there is nothing they can do to save themselves. Again, if they are pocketed by Mercy, that's even better. Even if you don't kill them, you get so much attention, so much like if you basically know the first grade math, like 4 is way more than 2, 4 is even more than 3, right? So make sure that you are doing that. Beautiful ending to this particular game. We were cooking quite tremendously. This is 1-1 and oh my god, I absolutely destroyed this monkey mirror, as well as they were just not ready to do anything against us. Overall, this was a super nice challenge, and it feels like on hour 9 I realized how cool the Winston is. I already knew it at hour like 3, I already knew it at the first part of the challenge, but I feel like Winston opened from a different side at that hour. It was one of the most fun and satisfying 10-hour challenges I did so far. Winston is one of my favorite characters in the whole game, and if you would ask me to play a single character for the rest of my life, I would probably choose Winston or Ana. They are both quite amazing. To summarize everything that I have in this video, it feels like you have to learn how to kill opponents, because on the earlier hours I struggled quite a lot with it. I realized that it's pretty hard to do so for me. I found out that sometimes I am missing like 20 HP and they are just walking away from my engage, and now they are using ultimates, now they are using their resources. You have to understand that sometimes you are gonna be a win condition and you would just jump in the backline and there is nothing they could do, and sometimes you are a distraction tool. Sometimes you are a person that's gonna be the one that will draw resources, draw attention, that will pretty much just like survive, you know? Instead of being a hunter, you are kind of a prey, but in a different way and manner, it feels like, right? Winston is super satisfying. Is it good on every map? Absolutely not. Is it good on every single comp? Absolutely not. And it feels like people on lower levels, they don't quite understand how to play dive, and they don't quite understand how to like utilize you as a Winston player, because Overwatch is a game where 5 players are playing versus 5 players, and if you calculate percentages, it's like 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. So even if you do 40 and your teammates are doing 0, that's just not enough. Learn how to use your ultimate. In this clip, I am going for an insane ultimate usage. Like, I'm pretty much hitting every single knuckle right here. Fortunately, this Reaper is just gonna destroy me. Yeah, so right here, if I were to melee him, I would have won. Learn how to use your combo. So you would want to like jump high and then jump on the person as close as you possibly can to get that 50 damage, and then you want to zap melee. You have to learn how to use them properly to get the maximum DPS possible and ensure that you will get kills and stuff. This is super duper important. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for all the support, comments, likes. I read all the comments. I try to answer all the comments if they are adequate. And yeah, thank you very much. I never knew that I would be able to like be that relevant in that regard. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Take care.